All right. Welcome to Up Your Confidence podcast. My name is Lizette Zuno, your host. And today I am super excited for our conversation. We want to talk about today with my guest, Celine Brozowish, about resetting and restoring your productivity. So before we get started, I want to do a quick introduction about my guest, and I'm gonna tell you how we meet, and then we're gonna get the conversation started. So Celine Brozovic is the founder of Dancing with Food and a health. She's the founder of Dance with Food, a health and productivity company created to build employee morale and reduce employer healthcare expenses. So Celine was the director of success at McKesson, a 4010 company. She has won McKinsey President Award for top achiever. By the way, that's kind of like an award that only 0.3% of McKinsey employees have been selected for. So that's super competitive, but that's an understatement. I'm excited because she currently co-teach lifestyle medicine classes based on complete health improvement program that she called CHIPS. So she's also a licensed facilitator with physician at Providence Everett in Washington. So I'm excited to have you here today, Celine. How are you doing?
Hello, Lisette. Et bonjour, Lisette. Thank you so very much for having me here. I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, so I know you are in Washington, and before we joined, we were talking about the weather. So I want to backtrack a little bit and talk about your story, because our background seems similar because I didn't read your whole bio. I'm gonna put that in the podcast note, when the podcast gets released. But your background is similar to mine. You did an engineering degree. You work at the top 10 and top 500 company. So how did you get into like talking about health and productivity?
Thank you. Life experience. Three things. Number one, what happened to my father? Number two, what happened to my mother and myself, basically. And then finally, what happened to me. So, what happened to me is since age 12, I have been on a diet. Don't ask me why. It will be the topic for another conversation. And at age 15, I was diagnosed with depression.
Oh, wow.
So I've lived with that, and I work a lot. I am a workaholic, confessed workaholic. Don't worry, I have been to confession, been forgiven for that. And finally, in 2015, it caught up with me. I had gained plenty of weight, went from size 6'8" to size 16, 18. I have acid reflux, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was a mess. And I was one hair to basically do the inevitable, to commit suicide because the depression has taken over.
Wow.
And I did my research and run into lifestyle medicine. And then here is where I am. So from that, I do not want anything that has happened to me to happen to anybody else. When it comes to my mom, when she sees me, has at least 10 names for me within 1 second. Monini, Afwaini Celine, Kremafua, Nkramamba. And then my mommy didn't recognize me.
Mm.
I had no name. I was nobody. She didn't recognize me because of a disease called stroke and hypertension. By that time, I knew that we can do something about it. So, this is my story. I don't want any beloved child to be motherless before even the mother is gone. I don't want any other person, any child, to see their father not be able to write to them, not be able to talk. And I don't want anybody to go to basically lose their career because of disease that are perfectly preventable. And I decided I am going to talk. I am going to share. I'm going to let anybody who want to listen that, oh, by the way, you are in charge. You have the control. There is hope.
Wow. That's kind of like hit home to me personally right now because I'm dealing with some family emergency and just saying the word, you don't want somebody to lose their family member because of a disease that is preventable, it's really hit home. So I really commend you for doing this because this is totally like a career change for you, this is totally career change for you. So let's dive into it a little bit and try to teach me because I'm definitely, like I told you before we joined the call, I'm like, I'm doing this for myself. Selfishly, like I need this conversation today for me to equip me. And this is something that we always talk about on the Up Your Confidence podcast. It's really conversation to equip us, to empower us, women, and to elevate us. So I need that equipment today, definitely. So tell me, how how do you relate health to productivity? Because I mean, health, we talk about health all the time, and but I love when you and I met, and I need to backtrack and talk about how you and I met. We met through like a mutual friend, and when she shared about your story and she asked me to go on your website, I was like, totally, we need to talk about this. Because everybody that know me know that I care about, not only women, but I care about our health, holistically our health, and I know that our health impact different area of our life, so I really love that, you are focusing on how our health impact our productivity. So tell me, try to do the link for me. How does our health really impact our productivity?
Okay, thank you. This is a wonderful question. So I'm going to use a few terms. So number one, Harvard University has done a research where you show the cost of healthcare in America and the cost for an employer of healthcare. So it basically rises at more than 5% per year per employee, which is higher than the rate of inflation. One. Two, you have a survey done by the Institute for Productivity who showed that employees who are in bad health self-report a 46% decline in productivity. 46% decline. So I am a business owner. So if I am going to be not productive at 46%, it's a nightmare. Imagine you have employees and you are paying them not to be there. So you have terms that are now called, we all know about absenteeism. It's people are not there, they don't show up. But the worst is what is called now, I think Harvard described that term, presenteeism, where the person is present in the office, but they're not doing any work because they're either on the phone managing the different appointment for this medical test, or they are worried about their health or the health of family members. And you have depression. Depression is a nasty disease. Depression costs a lot of money. With depression, you cannot function. So on average, you lose $300,000 per year. So when you take the whole United States, this is a lot of money that you leave on the table because of depression. So, and when you are depressed, the only thing you want to do is curl back in bed. There is no productivity. What can you do? You become basically not productive in that. So, did that answer that question, linking your health and your productivity? And also, you have your image. Let's say somebody who has gained a lot of weight,
Mhm.
and you go in your closet every morning. You should usually start your day happy and all. But when you look at the different sizes of clothes in your closet, I don't know about you, but when it was happening to me, I'm like, gosh, I am losing the game. It didn't make me feel good. This is not what clothes are for. We want to look beautiful. When you look in your closet, you want to be excited about what you have in there. Not, it doesn't have to drag you down. But you start the day that way. When you get in the office, you've lost a little bit of your pep, a little bit of your enthusiasm. And when you are not feeling good, you want to sleep. You are not at your best. Imagine you having a flu, you're not feeling good. It temporarily. There is a time limit on it. But when it becomes chronic,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I'll stop.
No, I totally get it. When you say that, even, how they say, even when you wake up in the morning, you make your bed, that already, rise you up. So the ability of not able to pick the right clothes, or even having stress about that alone, I've been there and I totally relate. And that does not really enhance your confidence at all. So thank you for making the link, because that's really important to even know what is the link. And as you mentioned, I mean, the dollar amount that company are losing, it's really necessary for them to have somebody like you. Now, I also want to talk about, so how does your program work? And you can also weave it into your answer, because I love the title of your company, Dance with Food. If you can give us some insight, what is that about? And how do you go about, helping your client toward that journey of, increasing the productivity?
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to answer that question to say I am an engineer, and I'm glad you are an engineer. What do? We identify problems, we solve them in a practical way, and we are serious. People out there, this engineer is not serious. I am fun. So we identify problem. What is the problem? Let's talk about the problem.
Right.
You go to the doctor and they tell you you have to change your lifestyle. And he walks away. He walks away because there are 2.6 doctors for 1,000 people. He doesn't have time. Even if he wants to, he cannot do it.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the research also has shown that less than 5% of American doctors spend more than 10 minutes with with their patients. So let's come back to defining that problem. So he tells you, you have to change your lifestyle. And you're like, yes, I would like to change that lifestyle. And you look around you, you're like, how? So the big problem that I am solving is busy professionals who are struggling on how to adapt a healthy lifestyle. It is a real nightmare. So you've heard, for example, about, oh, vegan. Go online, type today. You have 1.3 trillion free vegan recipes, meaning it is not about having access to recipes. Yes, I'm going to repeat that again. You type vegan recipes on Google, in less than 1 second, you have 1.3 trillion free vegan recipes, one better than the other. Meaning the answer is not the access to recipes. You're going to hear some people to say, oh, you have to exercise. Become a gym rat as much as you want. It's not solving your problem. So the problem, so let's define that problem is, I would like to adopt a healthy lifestyle, but I am struggling with the how.
Mm.
Do we agree that this is the problem?
Yes.
Très bien. So now I am an engineer. We solve that problem. So how do I solve that problem for my customers? By looking at my own experience, by combining 25 years of experience in corporate America, by being an expert in people change management, by looking at the principle of lifestyle medicine, and we'll talk about lifestyle medicine, and by becoming a lifestyle coach, and by having plenty of compassion, I developed a process, an end-to-end process. And remember, I am an engineer. So that process is very practical and pragmatic. And as an engineer, we have results. The results, I was focusing on developing something that will give you a result for your entire life. So you are unique. So the process is unique. It's about you. I do not believe in handing recipes to people or menus to people. I believe in educating you so that, I teach you how to fish, you can get more fish than, giving you a whole bunch of things. I'll give you an example. I love okra. Bring that okra in, I'll eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Bring okra at my dining table, my husband is going to give me a look to say, just don't get it even in the plate that I'm going to reuse later, because he doesn't like it. What is the point of giving him okra, a menu or a recipe with okra in it? It's irrelevant. But he loves chili. So when I took that chili and I made it for his taste, based on the spices that he likes and in a healthy fashion, do you think he's going to eat that chili? Yes, he's going to eat that chili because it was made for him and about him. Because at the end of the day, we have to bring pleasure back in the game. And the result, you are busy. I tell people, please don't start running after recipes. You're going to spend so much time, you're going to be discouraged. Look at your lifestyle and any change you are going to make, ask yourself the following question. Am I going to enjoy it? And when it is food, is it going to taste good?
Right.
Do I have to put a lot of effort in it? I don't care what it is. If you have to go to Kathmandu to go find your spices, you will do that maybe once or twice. But no, you are not going to continue. So it has to be easy without effort so that it is successful.
Right.
And I said, this engineer is not serious. This engineer is fun. You have to bring fun and pleasure back into your life. So what I do with the individuals is to ensure that they can develop now the knowledge, no nonsense knowledge, the competence, so they know what they are doing, pleasure, to build a foundation that is theirs, that fit into their schedule, that fit into their lifestyle for the future.
Right.
Did I answer that question?
Yes, totally. Totally. You did. And you mentioned so many things that is important because I know that food is important, but then how does the food get activated in our system is also something that I want you to chime in a little bit and then talk about, the lifestyle medicine. I know what it is, but I'm sure somebody's listening to us and it's like, I don't want to make an assumption. So can you expand on what is lifestyle medicine? Because we know what is lifestyle, but then it's lifestyle medicine. And you also mentioned that when you go to the doctor, he tell you to change your lifestyle, but you are not equipped with that information. So how do we make that connection with lifestyle medicine?
Très bien. So you have certain diseases that we call disease of affluence. And actually, there is a doctor in the Ivory Coast that calls the diseases of the 21st century. So let me name them first. Type 2 diabetes,
Mhm.
hypertension,
Right.
high cholesterol, high blood pressure,
Yes.
and on and on. Those diseases are linked with your lifestyle. So, what is lifestyle medicine? Lifestyle medicine says that what you put in your mouth in terms of food, alcohol, drugs, tobacco, medications, um,
Fluid.
poison, yeah, sodas and stuff. So anything you put in your mouth, what you put in your head, when it comes to lack of forgiveness, lack of a spiritual practice, stress, lack of, a friendship, environment, a family. What you do with your body, exercising, sleeping, access to vitamin D, going in the sun, those, and what, in addition, there is something called the social determinant of life, of health, pollution, and this. So lifestyle medicine says when you control and you manage what you put in your mouth, your mind, your head, and what you do with your body, and the social determinant of health, if you manage that in partnership with your doctor, you can prevent and or reverse chronic diseases. Let me repeat something in here. I'm going to repeat a few things. You've heard them say food, but it is not just food. Food is as important as your level of stress. It is as important as your exercise. It is as important as being out there in the sun and getting some vitamin D. It is as important as forgiving. It is as important as our relationship with the divine, with God. It is important with than what we do with our soul. So you have to manage all of this. So my program touches on all aspects of that to help you restore your health. And when it comes to food, we talked about a whole food, plant-based eating. I'm sure we'll have a time to come back to that. So to finish lifestyle medicine, it has three things that I like about. You work with your medical doctor. I do not like any program that basically disrespect medical doctors. They have their place. 2, it works with all the other knowledge that we have out there. They understand, for example, that hibiscus tea is very good, that drinking your tea is very good, that your spices, that you have healing in clove, for example, très bien. And the third thing is you are an active part of your health. Those three things make lifestyle medicine beautiful, 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 beautiful. And the science is behind. It's scientifically proven. And we have tons of evidence behind it.
Awesome. Let's now talk about result, because I'm excited about how you describe this is the first time actually, because I mean I've talked to a lot of health expert, life coaches, but I think this is the first time where you hit on the social determinant of health, how that also impact your the lifestyle medicine. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that, especially go out, get that vitamin D, reduce the stress like you mentioned, but also your relationship with the divine. So I really appreciate that you bringing that also forefront to the conversation, because that's really going to help folks in understanding that especially that we are in the new year. This is at least for me, this is a time where I reset and try to drive out new habit. And most people make habit of, okay, I want to eat better, I want to eat clean, I want to exercise, but you also want to make some habit into maybe your relationship with God, or maybe your relationship with your family or your friend or your environment, or how often do you want to get that vitamin D. So that's really good that you talk about that. So let's shift and talk about proven result, because I know you have been doing this for a while. So let's talk about your clientele, who are the folks that fit in or that can benefit from this. I think I know the answer, but I want you to tell us. And then also if you can showcase a little bit of what are the results that people have been getting.
Okay, wonderful. So for the result, I'm going to divide it in two. So let's look at the result that somebody like Dr. Esselstyn got. First time published, peer reviewed, he's shown that clogged arteries could be reopened. Clogged arteries, no medication could reopen an artery. They can put a stent It will keep it open. But unfortunately, after they have put that stent in the arteries there, they don't tell you that if you go back to your bizarre lifestyle, it's going to clog up again. So the poster child for that, when we talk about that in the industry, is to give the example of President Bill Clinton.
Right.
President Bill Clinton had one stent put in. They were going to put a second one in because nobody told him that, you keep off eating like, what you were doing before, we're putting a second one in. And he said no. So Dr. Esselstyn and Dr. Dean Ornish were the two who put him on the principles of lifestyle medicine, especially eating a whole food, plant-based nutrition. I don't like the word diet. You saw Bill Clinton at the inauguration. Fox News said he was sleeping, but this is a different story.
He's looking pretty
He
good
said,
for his age.
yeah, I rest my case. So that documented all the science behind it, that you can reopen your arteries for cardiac diseases and all, cardiovascular diseases and all. Now, there is another doctor, Dr. Neil Barnard, has proven that you can heal from type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes without, yes. So what are the results that I have seen in my practice? Before going to anybody else, I'm going to talk about myself. I started with depression. Remember, I was one air of killing myself.
Right.
Within a few weeks, it's as if somebody has removed some kind of scale from my eyes. I look outside and I'm like, wow, John, it's so vibrant, it's so brilliant out there. Just after a few weeks, by cleaning my lifestyle. Okay. 2, I started with cholesterol at 220. And those numbers are there. I have them online. I share that with anybody. Today, my cholesterol is at 167 without medication.
Amazing.
I started with high blood pressure. Today, my blood pressure is 110/77 without medication. Awesome. And I have lost the weight and I have the energy. And I can fit onto the size 6'8" clothes again. So beautiful, wonderful. I talk about my husband. He's been taking cholesterol medication for 25 years. After 4 months, 25 years. So people, ask yourself the following question. What kind of medication do I have to take for 25 years for cholesterol? And it doesn't heal it, doesn't go away. After 4 months, the doctor said, Mr. Brozovich, we stopped the cholesterol medication.
Wow.
Isn't it wonderful? High blood pressure. My mom took high blood pressure medication for 54 years. People, medication doesn't heal high blood pressure, basically cover the symptoms in there. And once you start, they're going to put you on the first one, the second one, the third one, and then medication for the side effect and that. Please, please learn about lifestyle medicine, learn about changing your lifestyle so you can manage that disease, because hypertension is a silent killer. Because before you know it, it's silently destroying your kidneys, your brain, your arteries. Do something about it. Now, on December 12th, I had the best gift of ever. One of the young men in the Ivory Coast that I coached at the beginning of COVID, because he learned that I was a lifestyle coach. So I coached him with his mom. He was taking insulin, 24 unit in the morning, 24 unit in the evening for diabetes. So this was March, April time frame. December 12, he said, Celine, it's been a month since I've taken any insulin. Diabetes is gone, no medication.
Wow.
Result with the coaching. And the beauty is every day I receive at least something. So today I'm helping Dr. Clay at the hospital. This lady sent a note to say, thank you so very much. I feel like, I am being born again because I'm getting energy. And this is just the second week of class. But just her dropping a few things that didn't make sense and understanding that health is in your plate, in your head, in your bones. She's starting to have results. You want more results?
No, these are good. These are good because not only I love that not only you start from like a celebrity that we all know, so that if you don't believe Celine, you can just Google and go find the whole Bill Clinton journey. But I remember that we used to see Bill Clinton walking out, he run marathon and all that now. So it's amazing. And I personally have worked at the American Heart Association, so I know all these things that you're mentioning dramatically increase, decrease your chance of having any of these diseases. So, and I mean, you hit on so many points that I've been like screaming about, especially the fact that you say the medication, because every time, like I personally, full transparency, hate medication. I hate it. Like I tell my friend, if somebody want to kill me, just tell me I have to take medication for the rest of my life, and that would just do it, because I don't do medication. It just doesn't work with me. I'm drinking tea right now. I drink like hibiscus tea, moringa tea all day. That's what I do in winter time. So I'm more into like using plant and natural whole food to heal your body. That's where my mindset go. So whenever I have a friend or a family member and they are told, get this medication, I know for a fact, I'm not even a doctor. I just know that it's masking the symptom. And I love that you point that out, because I want people to hear it from somebody that is an expert, not me. But I know for a fact that it masking the medication. And you telling me that your husband been taking medication for 25 years and in 4 months he's getting results. It's like, why we don't know this? Why are we continuing getting the medication? We have, I feel like we have to do like a massive awareness and education effort, so people knows. So from your perspective, why do you think folks are not going in the lifestyle medicine direction? What is making us take medication? Because I don't like medication, but from your perspective, what are the things that is blocking people to take this pathway, really?
Thank you, Lisette. Bon, I'm going to add a little bit to what Lisette said and telling you the following. Please, if you are taking medication today, please do not stop taking your medication. I'm going to repeat it again. If you are taking medication today, before you do that, talk to your doctor, and it is in partnership with your doctor. I told you that the medical professionals have their place. So if you are taking medication, please do not stop it. Work with your doctor. Tell your doctor, I am going to embark onto a lifestyle change, and slowly, together as partners, he will reduce the dose of your medication to eliminate it, or even to a small piece. Okay? This is important. Lisette doesn't want to kill you, okay? So with that one being said,
Let me chime in for this. Let me chime in for what you say, because I have a personal experience into this. My son is 20 months old. So when I had a baby in 2019, I was put on right after I had the baby. I was put on because I had like some high blood pressure issue. I went to the ER a week after I had a baby to get my blood pressure checking. And as soon as you show up at the ER, they don't have any solution, right? I mean, they don't have any choice. They have a solution. They give you medication. So I was put on medication right away, no choice. And I was taking my blood pressure 3 times a day to be able to just know what's going on. But like I told you, I was determined that this could not be my lifestyle. Just looking at the bottle, every time I will inject the medication in my mouth, I'm just praying for myself to get enough weight, enough strength, so that I can start walking or I can start doing some kind of exercise. So what I did is I gradually just, I wanted to testify that I'm not saying stop your medication, but even I myself gradually, I was taking it. I think I had to take it like 2 or 3 times a day. So I'll take it and it will work, because if I don't take it, I wake up in the morning, I take my blood pressure, my high blood pressure, I know that it's high. And then I take it, it goes down. But then as soon as I start feeling a little bit better, I start exercising. I was watching what I was eating, and I was drinking a lot of fluid to help me evacuate all the toxin in my body. In Africa, we have a lot of different things, plants that you can infuse to help you with that. So I did all of that. And progressively, instead of doing the 3 times a day, I was just doing the one time, at night, so that it's regulated. And progressively, within like 3 months, before I get to 3 months, I was feeling good, and I went back to the doctor, took my number. I was like 119 over 79 or something. So it was getting better, because I've always been borderline. It was getting better. And then the doctor asked me if I wanted to continue. And I was like, obviously, I don't want to continue, continue taking the medication. So we just stopped it there. But I still have the box of the medication, because he told me if I ever feel like it's high, I know where to go. But I personally don't want to go that route. So I knew that this is the medication that I have as a temporary solution. The key word here is temporarily solution, and the long-term solution is to create a lifestyle for you, like we're talking about the whole lifestyle, so that you can hit all the different spots, because stress is also part of it, overworking and being always busy is also part of it. So I want to stress that out. So go ahead and continue your answer. Thank you for stressing that, because we don't want folks to stop the medication, but there's a process to it. There's a process to it.
Okay. Now, why don't we hear day in and day out about lifestyle medicine?
Exactly.
Only one thing, money. And I'll give you a few examples. Medical doctors, when they are going to school, they have less than 40 hours of nutrition and lifestyle related training as part of their training. So they don't know. Okay. There is an organization who is working on that now. The American College for Lifestyle Medicine is getting doctors take CMEs so that they can certify and they can learn more about lifestyle medicine. So this
Nice.
is one. Number two, money. When it comes to reimbursement, at the hospital, the cardiologist get reimbursed 40,000 to 100,000 per patient. Do you know how much Dr. Clay get reimbursed when we teach the CHIP program? Give me a number. So let me repeat it again. Cardiologist gets reimbursed 40,000 to 100K. Okay. Lifestyle medicine class that we are teaching at the hospital today is a 9-week class. Guess how much Dr. Clay gets reimbursed per patient? Give me a number.
20,000, I'm hoping.
Don't we wish? $40. Yes, $40. So what, like we say in French, y a pas match. So as long as the reimbursement system doesn't support that, doctors who've gone to school with, they come out of school with $500,000 in debt, with having to pay a lot of money for their medical insurance, for insurance for their practice, there is no incentive.
Yes.
This is the second reason. And the third reason is it's big money. And because I don't have money, so they can come and sue me. Do you think Coca-Cola
Oh
wants you to
gosh.
know that it's loaded with salt and that sugar is killing you and it is poison? No. Do you think that the milk industry is going to let you share with people that animal protein triggers on and off cancer? No. And they have the money to blanket the airwaves with all kinds of advertising, and they have the money to destroy reputations. I don't have a big reputation. I can say anything I want. That the doctor who wrote the book, Pure, White, and Deadly, who came, he was a British scientist, who came and showed clearly via science that white sugar is poison. You know what they did to him? They destroy his reputation.
I bet.
They destroy his reputation. And the other way they manage also is they have a whole bunch of pseudoscience that they put out there, and everybody is confused. If you we won't have some of your customers calling in, but some of them will be arguing with me. Yes, there is another science and this. And usually we calmly ask him, have you looked into that science that you are claiming? Who is paying for that science? Look at follow the money.
Definitely.
Depending on who is paying for the science, the research, you're going to see some results. And I'm going to stop there because this will be another conversation, and I can point people onto plenty of, the expert talking about that. It's big money. So people, your health is yours. You own your health. You are in charge of your health. It is your full-blown responsibility to educate yourself, to partner with your doctor. And if he doesn't understand it, fire him. But to find a doctor who will work with you for you to claim your health. Not only do you have to do that for yourself, but you also have to do that for your children, for your wife, your husband, your families, and people who love you.
Yes, totally. I mean, I'm so glad I asked that question because that has been something that I've been curious about, and the way you broke it down is just amazing. How it's money and it's big money. It's like, okay, the little money from the doctor office that need to survive literally for the job that he's doing, but there's no incentive. So it's the incentive that need to get created. And I like how you conclude that we have to take owner, just like I say in anything, we have to take ownership of our life. Like everything you do in your life, you are responsible of it, and your health is definitely should be the primary thing. So I think we coming to the end, and I want you to talk to us a little bit about anything that we have not touched on. First of all, because we only have like 45 minutes or so, but talk to us about how this time of the year it's a good opportunity to really, if you want to reset, right? Because I always believe like you get any new year, every day is an opportunity for you to restart again. So if somebody want to reset, what can you give them a quick advice to do? And then I'll ask you, how we can keep in touch with you and all that as well.
Okay, so you've been listening to Lisette, and I'll share with you one thing that I do in class number 1. My program is a 7-week program. Class number 1, I tell people, find your motivation. So you listening to Lisette out there, I want you to find your motivation. Unless you understand why you want to have that reset, to have a lifestyle that is just going to make you productive, that is going to give you the vitality, that is going to help you prevent all those chronic diseases, you have to start with the why. Find out how you find why you want to do that. Let me give you one quick answer. Don't say, oh, I want to lose weight. So is you and 80% of the people. Feel it. Find a coach. Do whatever it is, but go deep and find why do you want to change that lifestyle. You have found your why when that why become good enough to resist any of the temptation out there. So motivation, number 1.
Awesome. I mean, that is important because I think a lot of people jump into doing things just because, they heard it on TV or somebody advertised for them. And then what you find is it doesn't stick, just like any other thing, right? So having that motivation is very crucial. And I've been on that road many times. And this is like the perfect time for me to have a motivation, because not only you think about yourself, but you think about, your family history, you think about your kids, that you want to teach them good habit, and you want to make sure, you leave a legacy for them so that they can be proud of you. And I can use so much energy and the productivity, because like we both say, we workaholics, so we can use extra energy. So tell us how we can I really enjoy our conversation, and I didn't even know we could talk for this long. But tell us, one last advice you can give to anybody that want to get started. We talked about motivation, but how we can follow you, how we can keep in touch with you, and if perhaps, who are the good candidates to be in your program.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good question. Anybody who is busy, who has been doing tons of diet, who wants to basically be in control of their life once and for all, and also who can do that with their children and their husband. Let's talk. You can find me. My website is dances to dance, like dances with foods.com. So Celine, the email is Celine, Celine, at danceswithfoods.com. And I'm sure if you type Celine Brozovish, I must be the only Celine Brozovich on there. So Brozovich is
Yes, it's
R-O. Play soccer, Brozovic, the
yes, I know
soccer player from
Brozovic.
Croatia.
Yes.
Same spelling. Voilà. And the advice that if I want to leave you with something, the beauty for lifestyle medicine is it is never too late. You can start, but please start. You can do that on your own, more power to you. You can do that with a coach, go for it. You can do that with a doctor, go for it. But please start. And as you start, remember, it is not one thing I do for 1 month and I drop it. No, it's called lifestyle because it is for the long term.
Yeah, I love that you say, you need to find the motivation to start, but then, how do you keep it going? Because everybody get excited about doing things, but then how do you keep it going? It's really important as well. So thank you so much. I'm gonna have all your information, your website, the information about your coaching system on the podcast notes, and I'm sure we're gonna keep in touch, and we're gonna have another conversation, because this was just touching the surface, but I'm pretty sure like all our listener, they got something great out of this amazing conversation. So thank you. Stick around.
Thank you, Lizette. Really appreciate being here and sharing that passion with you. Now that you've heard from me, you have no choice. Do something. If not you, your spouse or your children and the people who loves you.
Right.